So I just left out of an elementary school doing some observations for a client that we work with. And let me just say this. If we don't save our black boys, if we don't step up as a community and come to the rescue of our black boys, we are going to see that gap continue to widen between black boys who pursue education and skilled labor and black boys who are illiterate or end up in jail, in the streets, dead. That number is going to continue to grow. And that gap is going to continue to widen between black girls and black boys. I watched and observed the black girls versus the black boys in this classroom. And this is a very mixed classroom. White kids, black kids, a few Hispanic kids. I think I saw like one Asian kid, but a mixed classroom. And the boys just they couldn't sit down. They was up, they was being loud, they was having quiet time. The teacher was trying to redirect them. I don't think she was doing enough. And you can just tell that they need more support. They need more structure. And I know that starts at home. But unfortunately, all of our black boys are not in a good home. So where's the village? When does the village kick in? I couldn't help myself. I was there doing observations for a client, and my observations hadn't started yet. They didn't start until about 15 more minutes, and they were doing like some math worksheets in their groups, and I couldn't help it. I called the two little black boys over there to me, sat them down. What y'all doing? Let's figure this math out. Showed them the math. They were like, oh, that's how you do it. I'm like, well, that's how I learned how to do it. But this is how your teacher's teaching you how to do it, which that's a whole nother topic of why are they teaching these kids this new math concept using these boxes? That's confusing. It was confusing.
I agree with this whole new math shit. I'm not with it. And really, what they keep saying when they say new math is they're saying that we're going to teach it differently, not that the basic principles and the concepts is any different. So when I hear people say stuff like new math and all of that, that weirds me out. But we also have to have a conversation because one of the things that was exposed during the pandemic was that when children had to go, do home from school or whatever, they were under duress because the households, and she hit it squarely right out the park when she said it starts at home. Most of these people that are having children cannot even read past a third grade level. They have no concept, no proof, no understanding of what it takes in order to raise a child, but they are opening up their legs and they're having children, and often at times they're raising children out of wedlock. So now when I see women, and this is one of the things that I don't disagree with women on, when I see women that say, I don't want to have any children, I'm not tripping about it because at least don't nobody have to suffer as a result of it. When I see people that say, you know what, I'm a dink or whatever it is a double income, no children or whatever like that, or no kids, I'm not tripping about that because at least they're not hurting anybody else with their decisions. But the reason why I am on single fathers and single moms so much, and people that have children out of wedlock, is because the kids are often at times the ones that pay for the sins of their parents. So when she says, well, yeah, it's you got to make sure that you get the teachers in line and all of that. The teachers are overglorified babysitters. If the children can't even, because she said that she worked with the children and she got with them, cool. But take into consideration the fact that when children see new people or a new environment, then they tend to get curious or they'll make the adjustment for that particular moment. But when they get over familiarized with an environment where they can get away with certain things, which it starts at home, that's the thing that they're going to keep doing. It's not that black boys are any less smart or wise or any of that type of stuff. Is that we culturally leave them behind because the thing that is happening at home is the thing that you then see happening in real life. It happens in a classroom. And if they don't pull themselves out by the bootstraps, because we can talk about the system, but the system is the women that are having children with guys that don't give a fuck about them and they choosing to have children out of wedlock. And this is why you can't say, well, it's just enough to send money or send child support or I pay for it, so she should be all right. No, it really does take a community. It really does take a village. It really does take you being involved and participating in that child's life. It's not enough to just write a check and that just be the end of the conversation. So when we have these conversations, we have to add every factor in it, and it starts at home. That is the place that it starts. That's the place that it's going to end. When they leave school, they got to go back home. And unless you are an athlete, unless you are a basketball player, unless you're a football player, unless you're doing something that they think is going to get them rich, and you still financially illiterate, or you still illiterate when it comes to the ability to read, and then we had this pushing people through no child left behind nonsense. This is the reason why your children are suffering. So when they get mad at me for calling them out, look at their children and say that's the result of you not listening.
Confusing to me. And I just was literally breaking it down to me, and I was confused. But that's a whole nother topic. What are we going to do for our boys? I literally just saw it again. I already knew this because I've been in education now literally all my life. Since I was a little girl, I was tutoring after school. But what are we going to do? Y'all, they need us. And even in just that moment, I was able to redirect them, get them to sit down and listen to me, get them to stop running around the classroom. And they came back and said, thank you. Thank you for helping me. And then they ran on out the door being loud down the hallway. I don't know what it was just in that moment when they saw me, but I was like, come here and let's do this math. I was just real firm and direct with them. I can understand their teacher might be frustrated and that might not be her approach, but I'm not even putting it in the hands of them no more. It's on the community. If we gotta start our own.
No. It's not on the community. It's not on the community. It's not on the community. It is on the people that are choosing to have children. It is on the people that's choosing to go through with these pregnancies. It is on the people that refuse to use contraception. It is on the people that continue to vote for certain things that's not in their best interest. Nope. I'm not going. That's the thing that we got to separate on. I'm not going for that.
Own centers and our own spaces.
Might
I
require
offer
people to
virtual
take
tutoring. So if you see this message and your child is struggling with math, reading, science, social studies. Now with math, I can't do calculus. That's I can probably stop at like A, B. It gets a little, it gets a little tinkery with me there. But I can do really good with math, science. I have tutored many kids. I have tutored adults, helped them get their GED. Please DM me, reach out to me. I'm going to put my email address in.
And I'm going to put her information in the bio because I always like to give credit to the content creators. Let me see the rest of what she got to say.
In the caption. Like, we got to save our kids. I do virtual tutoring sessions for 90 minutes with kids for free. I try to do them weekly, but if they can't fit in weekly, we do them bi-weekly. We check in. I give them stuff to do. The parents got stuff to do. This is a real deal thing that I've been doing for years. I help kids college prep, find scholarships, do that. I got to follow up with like 2 parents now who emailed me while I was on vacation. Y'all, we got to do something. I say all that to say we got to do something. I'm trying to do my part. Who else is committed to doing it?
Nah, nope. And listen, God bless you if you want to do it on an individual basis. God bless her for putting out a good message. God bless her for being a pillar in the community and doing the right thing. But honestly, you're not going to solve for the problem unless you solve for why we are in this position in the first place. And the reason that we're in this position in the first place is because our cultural norms are trash. You're not going to fix a situation. You're not going to fix a community of people. It's not going to continue to pump out, those of us that are the least, then somehow creating the best. That's not how it works. You have to be groomed for greatness. You have to be taught and you have to be conditioned for what that looks like. And we are not doing that because I think that a lot of times our culture is more concerned with how they feel versus what is best for the people that comes after us. That's why you see people voting the way that they vote, because they don't give a fuck about what's going to happen for the next generation and Americans and American culture. They are all about how they feel and how they can make themselves feel good right here, right now. And so whatever gives them that dopamine hit, whatever makes them feel good, whatever get them tingling down there, whatever makes you feel good as a community because everybody is agreeing with you even if they're wrong, that is what they're going to lean into. And it is going to be the kids. The scriptures say the children are the ones that pay for the sins of their parents. That is who is going to suffer as a result of it. Y'all let me know what y'all think inside of the chat. Again, I always like to give credit to the content creators, so that link is going to be in the description. Teach Hanley, 40% off your first order plus 20% off for life. I love you. I appreciate you. We're going to continue this conversation on After Hours tonight. Peace.